Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the WP Quickies series, where I cover bite-sized WordPress tips and tricks in 30 minutes or less. Please leave a comment in the comments below. Let me know who is here today. And today we're going to have a quick chat about building client dashboards, or rather building the framework to allow you to put into place a client dashboard. So I'll just give everyone a minute or so to get online, and then we'll jump into it. So today's talk, it's not been suggested by anyone. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a while. Alan, hi Alan. Good to have you on board. Mr. Meowpuss, welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a good week. So we've got 15 people on board already. That's awesome. Do you like the little intro? Guys, I put that together last week. I've been trying out a new bit of video software called Filmora. So I thought I'd give it a bash and put together a little intro. So today I should be streaming on the WordPress YouTube site, my own YouTube site, and on Facebook using a little device called Pivo, which is quite interesting. So we'll see if this all works. Okay, we're having some people come around just now. So Elizabeth, hi Elizabeth. Paul, again, Paul and Elizabeth, they're regulars. Nice to see you. Craig, you're welcome for sharing that. Shika, hello Shika, how are you doing? Haven't seen you since WordCamp last year. Good to have you on board. Clario, you love the intro. Twerking your website. I'm gonna have to go and check the spelling on that now just to make sure. Joey, hi Joey, and Jean, and she likes the countdown. Thanks very much, guys. And John, hi to everyone. Okay, I think I'm going to get started because there's quite a bit to cover today, and I would like to do a little bit of a demo at the end to show you the plugins that I've got. So let's go full screen on this. In fact, I think I will just keep myself in there for a little bit. Shika, yes, it's been a while. I hope you're keeping well. I've been following you on all your posts on LinkedIn, Shika. It's been some really good stuff there. And Greg, hi there. So hi all guys, let's make a start. Okay, let's get my stuff up here. So here's, oh yeah, before we start, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell down below so you get notified for all the videos when they get posted. I'm sure you all have done anyway. So these are the things we're gonna cover today. Just roughly all about client dashboards, why you'd want one, a little bit of the design build as well. Redirecting users, some essential components, and I'll show you some of the plugins and how to configure them as well if we've got some time. So let's go for it. Okay, so why would you want a client dashboard? Well, if you're planning to sell services, a product, or even information like a membership site, you're going to need to give users some type of dashboard so they can get at their stuff. Okay. Also, having clients logging into a dashboard can also allow you to sell, upsell subtly, cross-sell, upgrade your products and services. So it's got that additional benefit as well. So allowing them to log into a dashboard, it's basically a basic requirement, I think, so they can get at their purchases, get at their downloads, and be able to update the information such as passwords and emails and things. So definitely a basic requirement if you are going to be selling something. And you know, a lot of these big plugins, the membership sites and WooCommerce, for example, they do give clients their own dashboard as well. But we're just kind of talking here. Maybe you're starting off a little bit basic, a little bit simple. You've only got a few products to sell. You've only got maybe one thing. So this is kind of putting in the foundation works for being able to build your own dashboard. So dashboards, they typically fall into two categories. Operational and analytical as well. So operational is where you are doing stuff. within the dashboard. So it might be a service. And analytical is where you're giving the user information about the product or the service that they're using. So choosing the type of dashboard is going to be dependent on your users and what you are selling. So there's no one dashboard for everyone. It's very dependent on you, your user's journey, and what you sell. So let's look at roughly designing and building your client dashboard. So you want to build and design your dashboard to have relevant and useful information for a user. So you really want to do the design process before you jump into the build process. I know a lot of people want to get started on stuff, and it's really easy to fire up a page builder and start dragging components, but you really need to understand why you're developing this dashboard in the first place. So it is useful for users. So they're not logging in and going, what's all this stuff here? So the design process at the start, very, very important. First thing you need to do is define your target audience. So the first step is really looking at who's going to be using this dashboard. What are your user base? So hopefully you've already done this before you started selling stuff. You don't want to create your products and then kind of do research. Do your research first and make sure you've got product and service that people do actually want and can use. So online journeys, the online journeys that users will take to access stuff that you're offering. So have a look at that and have a look at the metrics as well to see how they're accessing your website. And by that, I mean, have a look at Google Analytics. And Google Analytics has a wealth of information. It can tell you the web browsers, the screen resolutions, the devices that people are looking at your site. So know how they are accessing your content. So that allows you to design the best for that. So there's no point in putting 90% of your effort into building a desktop dashboard if 90% of your users are on mobile, for example. So do that bit of research first. And by journeys, what I'm talking about is how do people interact with this dashboard? How are they going to get to it? What are they going to do when they get there? So doing that little bit of planning at the front is going to really, really help you when you do your design. So you want to identify some key metrics as well. So what client problem are you trying to solve? And what KPIs, key performance indicators, are you trying to achieve? So your dashboard needs to be useful to the client when they log in. So it needs to solve their problem, but at the same time you have a business to run. So it also needs to achieve your key performance indicators as well. So the solution that you're giving them on the dashboard, it should be prominent there. And it should be driven by those KPIs that you need to hit as well. So that's a whole complete talk in itself. But I'm just trying to identify the steps you need to go through before you start committing to developing a dashboard. If you're selling professional dog training courses, for example, nobody is going to want to see a list of your latest blog posts on the client dashboard. It might seem a nice idea to you, but it's not relevant. They're going to want access to their courses and the metrics on their progress at the top. So make sure you identify the key metrics for you and for them, and that'll drive your design of the dashboard. User context as well. So you've already identified the audience. Now think about the context in which the dashboard will be used by them. This is going to drive the visuals that's going to be meaningful to them. So what are they going to do in the dashboard? Sketch it up on a bit of paper. What do they need access to, and what actions are they going to perform, and what are the primary ones, and make sure you include those. And it can be different for different people. So for example, a CEO, they're going to want a compact dashboard with a clean visuals, maybe high-level summaries as well. While if you're got a dashboard for maybe a business analyst, they're going to want to dive deeper into that data using more complex visualizations and to be able to sort through data and move it around. So really think about the different types of users that are going to be using your dashboard and tailor that for them. So moving on to the build. So page builders, I think, are going to be your friend here when it comes to building the actual dashboard itself. It's going to allow you to create a dashboard structure for desktop and mobile really quickly, because these page builders, they're great at being allow you to switch between desktop, tablet, and mobile and tweak all the settings in the framework on your dashboard for that. So definitely a big tick, I think, for page builders when you're thinking about these client dashboards. And depending on which plugins you're using for your shop, your membership site or service, you should be able to drop some of the native core elements onto your dashboard using that page builder, or using shortcodes or HTML as a backup. So for example, WooCommerce, you can quickly drag products, lists there, categories, taxonomies, filtering, all that sort of stuff that somebody would need in like a dashboard, and things like purchases, invoices, all that sort of stuff as well. Okay. So let's have a look at the default way that WordPress users log in. So I've covered like the essentials of the structures to the design for your dashboard before you even get to the build. We've talked about the build as well. Using page builders is probably going to be the best way. But let's have a look at how people are going to log in and interact with that dashboard. So when you open up your website for user registrations, by default, when a user logs in, they're taken to the WordPress dashboard, the WordPress admin dashboard. Now, again, some products, some plugins like WooCommerce or some of the membership sites, they've got their own dashboard. Yes, I know, but we're talking about just the WordPress default way. So when somebody logs in, they go to the WordPress admin dashboard. And that is great if you've got users who are helping you update content in your website, for example, but not very ideal if they are a customer. The last thing you want is for them to be playing around in the back end of your website. You need to give them a dashboard that's relevant to their user role that they're logging into. And the ideal solution is obviously, logging them into their own dashboard. And this is what we're talking about today. So the question is, how do you get them to redirect to our dashboard after login? Well, it's one of my favorite plugins, and I'm going to drop the link into the chat here, in the comments. It's called Peter's Login Redirect. At the very basic level, the plugin allows user registrations, logins, to be directed to a WordPress page. So you can do when somebody logs in, and you can do when somebody logs out and when somebody registers. But you can also override that on a per user basis based on their profile. And then there's also complexity of user roles and capabilities. So you could create different dashboards for different users that are logging in. So for example, your normal basic user, you can take them to their dashboard where they can get the product, services, and invoices, for example. Or you might have a shop manager, a WooCommerce shop manager. And when they log in, you take them to a different dashboard that's going to give them reports on purchases and things, and stock levels and things like that. So this little plugin, really, really flexible. It's really, really good. I absolutely love it. And for even building complex websites as well, I've built quite a few complex bespoke sites. And this little plugin gives you hooks and filters. So at a developer level, if you can't match what the plugin already gives you from users, user roles, user capabilities, then you can write your own custom code built on whatever conditions you need to then redirect someone onto a specific page. So I think that is an excellent plugin, and definitely one that you should be using if you're trying to build your own dashboard. Okay, so let's go through some essential components of a user dashboard. It's not going to look like this one. It looks like the one from Minority Report. But yeah, let's have a look at some of the essential components. So what things should you put on a customer dashboard? So of course, that's going to depend on the type of website that you run, whether it's a shop, a membership site, or something in between. However, there are a few essentials that I think you need to have on a dashboard, and here they are. I don't know if I've got a graphics feature of these. No, I don't. Okay, let's keep going. So registration form extensions. So, okay, registrations isn't part of the customer dashboard per se, but it does obviously play an important role in the whole process. So I'm going to quickly include it here. So the default WordPress user registration process, it just asks for a username and email and a username/email and a password, which is kind of sucky if you want to get more information from a marketing point of view. So if you don't want to splash out the cost for something like Gravity Forms, you can use a little plugin, and I'll pop it in the comment here. And it's called a user registration. And it's a really, really good plugin. It's a drag and drop interface like Gravity Forms, and it allows you to add extra fields onto your registration form and also your WordPress user profile, if that's something that you need. It's totally free as well, which is fantastic. So when you're doing this, when you're extending the registration form, remember not to ask the user for their whole life story upon registration, and that's going to deter signups. But definitely, if you want to collect things like first name, last name, maybe a company name or a URL, that's a great way of extending those pages. So another essential component is the login and logout navigation elements. Obviously, you need some way for people to log in and log out. You could use the default WordPress ones, but again, they're not great. You want to maybe have like a navigation structure at the top rather than use the buttons or widgets. So this little plugin here, Nav Menu Rows, is one of my go-to plugins. It allows you to show menu items conditionally on user roles. And in our case, whether a user is logged in or logged out, or show it to everyone. So I use this plugin pretty much on all my client websites to give them a simple login and logout capability. So definitely check that one out if you're thinking about building your own dashboard. Another essential component is to be able to update the user profile and change your password. Of course, people need to update all their detail all the time. So I think this is a must item for any dashboard. People change stuff all the time, like emails, passwords, addresses, even like companies when they move around. So you need a link to direct them to their WordPress user profile where they can make that change. And if you've used the previously mentioned user registration plugin, it again allows you to extend the user profile and add extra fields onto them. So using all these things in combination, it can really help build up your dashboard. Something else I think is essential is going to be help. That could be help, support, FAQs. So you don't need to put a full-fledged ticketing system. A support email address will be sufficient. But most users will expect to be able to contact you in some way through a client dashboard. I know I do. So all the plugins and the services I sign up for to run my business, if I have a problem with them, the first thing I usually do is log into their dashboard, have a look and see if I can raise a ticket, chat to somebody, or send a support request. So I think having that capability there is going to be really important. And adding something like your help wiki or FAQs on your dashboard or available from your dashboard as well, that can really help cut down on some of the actual support that comes through if people are looking at that stuff first. That good. Also in this section, you might want to include things like policies regarding refunds and returns as well. So try and give people the information they need within the dashboard. Last couple of essential features, I think, payment history and invoicing as well. So I am the world's worst at reconciling accounts. So it's always a mad dash at the end of the financial year to find invoices. And that usually means me having to log into all these services dashboards to find out when I paid, how much, and where the invoice is. So if you have a paying customer, I think it's essential component to include in your dashboard is for downloading invoices or some sort of payment history. The last one I think is essential is metrics and features. So obviously the stuff I've talked about before is kind of key essential components, but obviously your main part of your dashboard is going to be dedicated to the product or service that you offer and the relevant metrics and features that you need to give that customer in order for them to continue their journey and actively use your product or service. So for products, that could be downloads, updates, update history, license keys, help documentation, etc. So hopefully that's given you an idea of what essential things you need to put into a dashboard. So have a think about that before you go designing one for your own customers. So let's have a look at the back end. So I obviously don't have time to develop a complete dashboard, but let's show you those little plugins that I mentioned and show you how you configure them and set them up. I'm going to stop my screen share and share again. this one. And I'll put this full screen. Cool. So here we have, I've got a little local WordPress installed that I kind of use for these quickies. So here are the three plugins that I've been talking about. It's got nav menu roles, we've got Peter's login redirect, and the user registration. Now, actually, the user registration, it does redirects as well. So you don't really need to use the Peter's redirect if you're using, you can use one or the other. But I'll show you some of the settings that they go along just now. So let's have a look at the nav menu roles. I've got it installed. I've created a little menu in advance. So hopefully you can see that here. This is the front end of the website. I know it looks terrible. It's running 2020. It's got absolutely no design template on it, but hopefully it'll give you a little bit of an idea as to what this nav user roles means. I'm just checking my laptop to make sure that you guys can see the right screen there. Hopefully it's not showing just a tab. I think it might be. Oh, here we go. That's good. Right. At the top here, got home, got registration, login, and my account. Obviously, I'm logged into the local machine here. But if I'm already logged into the dashboard, I don't want to see login or registration here because I'm already logged in. So you want to hide those for logged in users. And also, if I'm logged out, I can't get access to my account. So there's no use in having that there. So let's go and have a look at this nav roles. So unfortunately, it doesn't work in the customizer. So you've actually got to go to appearance and menus for this. And let's have a look down at some of the ones we want to hide. So here we've got our primary menu, the one that's showing at the top. And here we've got our registration link. So we pull that down. And this little nav roles plugin, we can see it has a display mode down here. So we've got three options. Logged in users, logged out users, or everyone. Obviously, the home page, we want that to be everyone, and that's what it defaults to. But for this one, registration, we only want to show that for logged out users, okay? Because we don't want people when logged in to be re-registering. So we click on that. And similarly with login, we only want that for logged out users. And all the account stuff, well, obviously, we don't want that showing when people are logged out. I want to show it just for logged in. So this one, we click on logged in users, and it brings down some extra stuff that you can actually specify what type of logged in users. So, is it going to be your shop manager? Because I've got easy digital downloads installed here, just to give you an example to show you the different types here. Or is it just administrators or just editors? So if you don't check anything, it's everyone. So I'm just going to leave that for everyone. And of course, this is the top level menu, so it's going to filter through all the sub menus. So you just have to do the top level, and all the other ones sub menus will hide as well. So I'm going to save that, save the menu, and then go back to the front end, do a refresh, and now you can see I'm logged in. So the registration and login has disappeared, and now I've got my account, and I'm just going to log out. Yes, I do really want to log out. And I'll go to the front end, this one. And now you can see we've got my account is missing. So, now we're starting to bring the actual structure of what a logging user is going to expect. So let's log back in and have a look at the dashboard. So that's that plugin there. Let's have a quick look at Peter's login redirect, and then I'll jump to the user registration. So the Peter's login redirect is in settings and login, logout redirects. Here. So we can select for specific users that are in the website, and you can send to a URL when they log in and a URL when they log out. So that's what Peter's login redirect, login and logout. You can select specific roles, so admins, shop manager, shop vendors as well. You can do it on specific levels, capabilities. So, if they are allowed to edit plugins, so update plugins, you might have somebody logging in to update your WordPress website. You can just give it to those people. All other users, that's the default. So if you wanted everyone to log into a particular dashboard, you'd put the URL of the dashboard here. I can't even spell it today, dash. And again, for logout. For registration, so when somebody registers, you might want to take them to a thank you page or directly to the dashboard, and you can do it here. for this one. So post registration. That one. So that's Peter's login redirect. So really, really great plugin, and really does allow you to push people to different dashboard pages. So let's go back to plugins. I'm gonna deactivate that one just now. And let's have a look at user registrations, this one here. So what this one does is when you install the plugin, it actually creates some dashboard pages for you. So let's have a quick look at pages. I know I'm jumping around a bit, but I'm trying to do it within time. So it's going to create things like a registration page. It's going to create a My Account page as well. I don't know if this is easy digital downloads. This could be, I think this is the manage user registration one. So we've got checkout, purchase confirmation, purchase history, and transaction failed. I think that is this one that's created it. But you know, it creates these pages for you. You could create your own ones and redirect, but if I look at the general options here, so you got a user login option, and then you just you can specify their access to the dashboard. Here, the account selection, you can select the pages that you want to be the dashboard. So it created the My Account page and it selected it by default. But if you want another one, you just go and figure any pages in your website, and that's going to be the dashboard that person is going to log into. Also, there's different ways that you can, so for example, your lost password as well. You can have a URL endpoint for that. That's the action. But you know, if you have your own different one, you can change your different one there. So that's the general options. Login, you can choose different templates that this comes with, that you can customize them with CSS, which is great. And you can also do front-end messages as well. So after they've registered, once they've confirmed their login via email, or you can hold them for admins to be approved. So you can change all those email addresses and those messages as well. And it's got integration as well, so you can put a CAPTCHA up there. And you know, if you want to stop spam registrations, you know, I get quite a lot in my ones as well. And emails as well, so you can configure all the emails that goes out. For example, email confirmation, and the registration is pending, password resets as well. So this plugin is really like a one-stop shop for allowing people to register and then redirect them to a page, which is going to be your dashboard. Let's just have a quick look. So I'm logged in. So my account now, it looks pretty rubbish because I haven't done anything with the dashboard just yet. And this is where your page builder would come in. But here's the dashboard. It says from your dashboard, you can edit your profile. So let's have a quick look. Oh, no profile details found. That's rubbish. But you know, you can change your password. Here we go. And you can log out. Now, obviously, there's not a lot on my dashboard just now, but that's the basics. You know, here we've already got like a basic dashboard that people can come in and change their details. And you know, you can do things like, you know, purchase history. Obviously, that's easy digital downloads. I don't have anything there just yet. And you know, you can go to like a checkout page as well if you're buying stuff. So just with those three plugins, we have here created a basic dashboard that we can then start to use the page editor and start to drag on all the elements that we've thought about through the design process. So I know this has been a real quick run through of dashboards. And it's really difficult for me to cram as much as I really want to in 30 minutes. But yeah, hopefully that's given you a little bit of an idea on client dashboards as to where to start, at least what sort of things to put into a dashboard. Some of the plugins as well that's going to help you redirect the users to where they want to go. And then, of course, you know, I'd like to have covered the build of the dashboard as well, but you know, we just don't have time for that, unfortunately, in this particular case. If you want me to go into that, I can certainly do another quickie on the actual build process of a dashboard as well, but I'll leave that up to your creative minds. So next week, we are going to cover making WordPress go faster. So that's been one that's been in demand for, so we had quite a few of you guys filling out the form to see what sort of things you can do to make your website go faster. So we'll cover all those basic ones there next week. If you guys have any questions about dashboards or stuff, pop them down in the comments below, and I'll try and go through them as quickly as we can just now. Otherwise, if you want to suggest a new topic for our lunchtime quickie, you can fill out the form here. There's a link, there's a QR code, and if you look in the description down below the video, there should be a link for the form as well. So please go ahead and give me some suggestions to do more quickies on. And of course, hit me up. I'm on LinkedIn. That's probably the primary place you're going to find me on, have conversations with, but I am on Instagram ish and Twitter as well sometimes. Okay, guys. I'm going to jump into some of the comments, see if I've got any here. I don't think there are. I don't think I pasted. Did I paste a link for that user registrations? I don't think I did. I'll put that down here. Okay. Oh, I did. It's up there previously. That's okay. That's cool. Okay, guys. Christos says hi as well. That's Christos. If you guys don't have any questions, I'm having a look, because it does take a little bit of time for it to sync in. I'm using StreamYard. Just having a quick look through just now. Alan, you're welcome for this. I love doing these little quickies. It just helps me to chat to you guys, to engage, because I do miss the meetups. And in fact, the end of August, you might have seen in the meetup page, I'm going to schedule a Zoom quickie for the end of August. So I know that I'm here just chatting to you, and you guys are just out there listening, and I really do appreciate that. But I thought it'd be great if you get you guys actually on the call, on the quickie. So yeah, at the end of August, we'll just have a really relaxed Zoom call where we can just chat with each other about WordPress or not WordPress stuff. We don't have to, but yeah, I just thought it'd be great to get you guys actually see you face to face. That'd be good. Joey, you're welcome. Greg, you are welcome as well. James, thank you. Thank you guys for joining in. Liz, that's great. And Paul and John and Mr. Miapus. I just love that handle so much. Okay, guys, if there's no questions, then I am going to close down for today, and I will see you next week. If you have any other questions or follow-ups, hit me up in LinkedIn or on Slack as well. I'm in the WP Australia Slack group. So you can get all that information from, well, I should have a comment from here. You can get all that stuff. Let's see. Slack. Do I have a Slack banner? There. So wpaustralia.org/Slack. If you're not on Slack, you can join. And all of us WordPress people, we kind of hang out on Slack all day and have parties and stuff, so we don't do any work. So if you have any questions, hit me up on Slack. Okay, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you next week. Ciao.